Ladies and gentlemen, let us identify these organic compounds. All right, how do we identify an organic compound? First of all, you need to know to which homologous series does it belong. Once you are able to identify the homologous series, then you can know the kind of an organic compound it is. So from here, when you look there, we have those with a double bond and those without a double bond. All right, so what are we saying? Those with a double bond are called alkenes. So when there's a double bond, we call them alkenes, and when there's a single bond, we call them alkanes. All right, there's a double bond here, there's a double bond, so this one is an alkene, but the rest 1 and 4, they are what? Alkanes. Now all these, their names, they end with a, all the compounds that belong to this homologous series, they end with ANE. While those that belong to this homologous series, they end with ANE. So any compound, as long as it belongs to an alkane, it will end up with ANE and so on. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go here. To know the elements, sorry, the compound that you're dealing with, first count how many carbon atoms you have. In the first one, I have 3 carbon atoms, and 3 carbon atoms, it's what we call a plop. When there are 3 carbon atoms, it's called a plop. So this is prop, and we say this one is an alkane. So kuri plop kuja to borrow add this one here, which will give us propane. That's all, propane. You see how easy it is, right? I want us, let's go to 2. To 2, you can see that there's a double bond somewhere here. So I'm going to forget about what I can say, isomerism for now. Let's just look at the natural way of naming this. All right, that is for part 2 only. So how many carbon atoms are here? There are 3, but there's a double bond here. This means we are dealing with an alkene. So we have a plop, so they're going to add at the end ENE. So this is propene. I'm not interested in the structure isomerism, like I said. This can also be called with another name, but I don't want to come up with those. For example, if you look at the position of a double bond, you'll be able to say, okay, on which carbon atom is a double bond? It's the first carbon atom if you look from here. So it's between the first and the second. So this will be 1 propane, or plop, then 1, then EN. And I don't want to enter into that. This also there's a double bond, so this one is also an alkene. And there are only 2. When there are 2 carbon atoms, we call it an ethyl, right? So just going to go like with an F, 2 carbon atoms, F. But we said it's an alkene, so I'm going to add ENE, which will give us ethene. This one here. Coming to this one is branched. This one is now an isomer. Why am I saying an isomer? It has the same number of carbon atoms as another compound that belong to the same homologous series. All right, and that compound, it is butane. But how are we going to write this one? Look at what has branched out. How many carbon atoms does it have? It has got 1 carbon atom, and when it has got 1 carbon atom, we call it a meth. So this one we call it an attached group, so we call it a methyl. So this one is a methyl, so it's like, you know, an additional group combined to this compound. Are we together? Now, how many in the main chain? This one is a main chain. How many carbon atoms does it have? It has got 3 carbon atoms, and we said 3 carbon atoms goes with what? Plop. So now, this one I want to pay particular attention. We've identified the structure group here, which is a methyl, which is okay. Then what we are looking for next is we've also identified that this is a propane, because this is propane, right? In the main chain we have propane because there's no double bond. Then this carbon, this chain here, the side chain here, it has branched from carbon number what? So you label this is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3. So it has branched from carbon number 2. Alright, since it has branched from carbon number 2, we are going to add a 2 in front of methyl. So we are saying 2-methyl. We are saying the methyl group is coming from carbon number 2, which will give us the final answer as 2-methyl propane. Methyl propane. See how easy it is, right? That is how you do it. Cheers.